So I screwed up scheduling my collabs again and ended up alone this week. That should probably worry me more than it does, considering that I agreed to so many collabs I really can't afford doing an episode by myself. But it is currently too hot for me to care. Today's episode, Amending Fences, also known as Opposite Twilight. No, seriously, they even did the entire reverse color scheme thingy. Well, at least for the code. The opposite color of dark purple would have been just more yellow, and Moongancer would have looked like Goldfinger just had murdered her. She is yet another what-if version of Twilight. This is like the third one for the purple princess of periodically panicking. They are usually easy to spot, just look out for the unicorn antagonist with highlights in their mane. After What If She Never Learned About Friendship Was Still Celestial Student eventually put all her figuratively money on a teenage zombie army Twilight, and What If She Never Learns About Friendship, lives somewhere in the desert and attempts to brainwash all of Equestria one pony at a time Twilight, also known as Look Who Likes to Hide Behind Menus, exactly like Twilight. Well, after those two, we got What If She Never Learned About Friendship and Stayed a Nerd Twilight. What's that, Larson, I say? You think keeping the backstory of a character straightforward and simple is a good idea for a Slice of Life episode? And Larson will probably answer, yes. To which I would say, oh, well, you probably are right about that, as you were. In Amending Fences, we learned that Twilight was a jerk to her pre-Ponyville friends, or rather still is, considering that she doesn't even recognize any of them when she meets them as her sister-in-law's bridesmaid, or when they're on one of their frequent visits to Ponyville where they hang out with Lyra, the one member of the old circle of friends that even lives in Ponyville without Twilight ever realizing. Then again, Twilight is royalty, what makes her conservative by default, and she maybe subconsciously avoids the mint-colored mayor with her ambiguously best friend. Whatever the case about the last issue, one fact still stands. Twilight is a jerk. I admit that I have forgotten the name of more friends than I was able to remember over the years, but right here is the thing. Over the years, the show constantly and headcanon destroyingly reminds us that only 1 year has passed between the seasons 1 and 4, and I don't see any suggestions that time suddenly started moving faster since season 5 started. On the contrary, it sometimes even feels like moving backwards from one episode to the next. But I digress. I wanted to point out Twilight's jerkiness. The jerkiness that lets her forget the names and apparently also faces of the 5 ponies she spent most of her time with since they have been foals. Friends she only stopped seeing a little over a year ago. But AnY, I can already hear you typing in the comments below. She didn't understand friendship back then, that's why. Stop making fun of the episode. You can quote the episode itself to me as much as you want to explain to me that I didn't get it. But I think I did get it. And I'm pretty sure Larson is in on the joke as well. What do you think why he pointed out the fact that Lyra lives in Ponyville? The 3 of them have been Cadence's bridesmaids and Pinkie even knows them all personally. Larson even lets Pinkie nudge Twilight in the side and mark her about it and her title as Prince of Friendship. How much more obvious can he be except having all the characters literally having their tongues in their cheeks constantly? So yeah, Larson picks up on a question the fandom has been asking for years now. What about Twilight's life before Ponyville? But unlike McCarthy's shiny ex machina in the Canterlot Wedding, Larson took the challenge of going with what the show has actually presented to us as far back as episode 1. So keep in mind, kids, don't take it too seriously when I poke fun about the fact what a crappy friend Twilight used to be until this episode, since Emma Larson did the same. Overall, I really liked the episode. Maybe it just looks better after the last 2 rather mediocre ones, but in the end, it's cool. Oh, and in case you're wondering if I talked about those last 2 episodes at all, I did. Browniebug and I gave Princess Spike a buck to the shenanigans, and I joined Cam for a good time with Party Pooped on their respective channels. I have a playlist in the description with all my season 5 related videos, by the way. And while I already advertise like a shameless whore, I do Let's Plays now. Why? Well, I procrastinate video production by playing games anyways, now you can watch me doing it. Isn't that what you always secretly wished for? By the way, I did the Twilight thing myself this week and revisited an old beloved friend of mine I suddenly and without warning left behind about 2 years ago. Of course, I'm talking about a web show I really loved back in the days. What? Did you expect me to refer to a fellow human as an old beloved friend? Silly you! So yeah, I'm currently marathoning the entire show and it actually inspired the way I wrote the video you have just watched. Take a guess in the comments what show it is so I know if I got away with ripping off yet another show or if I actually have to start giving credit to people.